Check, 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 check. What's up, people? How's everyone doing today? Not a huge fan of these charts because of FOMC volatility. Got an inside 60, inside 4 hours, so I've already marked my charts up here, just kind of chilling. We did have this triple inside 5 that broke bear, but went nowhere. Looks like it's going to go outside bar, but inside 30, inside hour, inside 4 hour. And I'm just going to kind of keep an eye on things here. Might check metals. Almost took a silver short earlier on this little 30-minute rev strat that broke bear, but I only had like $25 of drawdown. I should have gotten in. It would have probably got back to break even on the day, trading just one micro silver. But I took a shot at NQ and ended up hitting DLL. But I did get another funded account last night, so I've got 3 XFAs. I'm going to copy trade 2, keep one as backup, and see how that kind of plays out. So maybe look at metals here. It looks like things are bullish. Oops, excuse me. Hourly inside bar breaking bull. 4 hour. It's not really a hammer, but hammerish, hammer-esque. Breaking to the upside here. So might be a day that I switch over to metals or oil for a bit, which I haven't traded in a while. CL's got a 3-1 inside bar hammer up on the 4 hour. I'm actually probably just going to take a little, let's pull up MCL.
Order filled.
Not a great fill there. I'm going to take a stab at that. Might have been a little quick to jump in there, but oil's been pretty beat up. See if we got potential exhaustion down here. I like it. I like it for an attempt, especially the NQ doing nothing. We do have this big outside bar here, so, you know, it's kind of like mother bar problems, but any 3-1 is, but do have a hammer, inside bar hammer. I love the 4 hour. Worth a shot, a little bit of risk. Let's see, where can this get up to? So keep an eye on that and see what NQ is doing here. Pop back there in a second. Very whippy end of the day. Kind of killed longs and shorts if you weren't careful. You know, get this big green candle up, chop, big sell. We had earnings on Tesla, Microsoft, and Meta. So things were kind of wild here. It's just a bit of a mess. See what gold is up to. That had to be contract rollover on GC. I need to pull up. That's not what I want. I have to find out what the actual gold contract is. I'm just going to take a stab at CL while I keep an eye on NQ. But NQ is not super interested in it. That's why I was so quick to jump into CL trade. What's up, Nate? Echo happening? Hold on. Check, check, check. Is it gone now? Should be. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Sorry about that, guys. That's me trying to still mess with OBS. Over the weekend, I'll have some time to, more time to focus on trying to get the stream quality better. We've got a plan. I also want to switch some audio around, add some background music. Just try and improve the overall kind of vibe we got going on. Usually doing a lot of talking, but when I'm intently staring at the charts or focused on trades, be nice. So, we got something to kind of distract ourselves, or just so it doesn't sound like no one's here. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. I haven't decided yet. It seems like a good idea. I like other trading streams that have at least something going on in the background. I like to listen to music. That's part of it. So just can't do it when I'm streaming because of YouTube rules. Yeah, you guys on Discord wouldn't have the echo. It was only OBS. So only YouTube was echoey. What kind of music? I usually like something with a beat, some kind of background music, chill music, study music, electronic. I like my go-to. It's like coding music. If you've ever come across any of those playlists on YouTube or Spotify. Polka? No, we're not gonna do that. No classical piano. Probably no country. Mostly non-vocal, like instrumental. Sometimes the vocals throw me off a bit, but just having a beat playing in the background keeps me, kind of hyped up. I wish there was a better way on Top Step for me to bounce around between like tickers, right? Like I don't want to have. I mean, yeah, typing like MNQ isn't super difficult, but it is a handful of keystrokes, and instead of a single click, like a single click to jump back and forth would be nice. Anybody else remember what the day after FOMC is like? Some people in the Top Step Discord were saying it's usually kind of a garbage day. Like a lot of chop, market digesting. I think there are some more earnings coming tomorrow from some Mag 7. Today was a big one with Meta Microsoft, especially after the DeepSeek news. Came very close to grabbing some Nvidia leaps. $90 calls for January 2027. $53 a piece. So I did, I feel like the news about, the panic around Nvidia is overblown, but when you look at like a quarterly or monthly chart, I don't know, man, it's kind of hard to get, kind of hard to get long, but if things go the way I expect over the next couple years with AI, it reminds me of, the early internet. And of course, you had stocks that were like Cisco that were just ripping through the roof, and then, it didn't make money for like the next 10 years after the dot-com crash. So, but I feel like, NVIDIA almost has a monopoly on these GPUs, and demand is only going to increase. I don't care. They're going to find way. There are going to be new companies that come out and figure out ways to train models more affordably, but I still think it's going to be, a race to whoever has the most compute kind of wins. Yeah, Nate, that's kind of free lo-fi. Yeah, it's kind of my jam. Oh, Options Degen says the same thing. Lo-fi is my working jam music. 8 Ball with it. He's Mr. Joke Man over here. Polka, elevator music. No. You trade today, Options Degen? Or did you kind of sit on the sidelines? I was gonna try Edgeful. They've got something that shows you like the stats on moves leading up to FOMC, day of FOMC, and then the day after or 2 days after. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that platform. It's just gives you statistics. You can find like if the day closes, if the 9:30 a.m. candle closes green, blah blah blah. The likelihood of the day closing green is 80% or something. They basically just crunch a bunch of numbers, and you can check statistics to try and give yourself an edge. So I was going to explore that a little bit, see if I found it useful. I used to use trading ticks when I was options trading, looking at flow. I'm all about finding whatever tools I can. If they help me, great. If they don't, fine. But I don't have a problem experimenting with something new for a period of time and seeing how it fits into my trading. Options DJ. Oh, that's right. You traded last night. DLL'd most of the other half of my accounts this morning. So half the accounts max win, half max loss. All right, mixed bag. I passed my. So last night I was trying to trade. Let me see if I can find it here. It was on the hourly. This 4 hour inside bar. Yeah, so we had this 4 hour inside bar that broke bull, and it was kind of struggling to go anywhere. And then ASML had their earnings that came out, and we got about a 100 point candle here, I think. Yeah, 100 point candle. So this is where I was trading. Traded this and was looking for this to continue pushing up, and it just pulled back. And so I said, you know what? I'm just gonna set an alert up near these highs in case we get back over there. I'll check back in. Gave myself a little room, before the highs, probably about halfway, and said, And I was laying in bed, and I happened to be on my phone. My phone, the alert went off. I opened Top Step X in about 3 seconds. I went 20 micros and just hit, it was set to buy five. I hit buy in 20. And within 10 seconds, I hit my $1,600 profit target. Like I knew to be in that position. I didn't know it was ASML earnings. I didn't know it was a 100 point candle, but I knew the market was, when I pulled up Top Step chart, I saw that it was a giant 1 minute candle, and I just plowed in. So sometimes it helps to be prepared, and that's why I kind of like focusing on a single ticker, because I knew where NQ was trade. You know what I mean? Like I had a picture in my head of where all the candles were without even having to look at the charts. I had my alert set, and if that alert triggered, I wanted to be long. and I just smashed the buy button, and before I knew it, it was just, I mean, it was literally like 8 to 10 seconds. But that was an evaluation account. I don't think I would do that in a funded account, at least not as aggressively. Like I wish I did. I wish I had last night, but so that worked out well for me. And then I felt like we were going to continue pushing higher, and we just didn't. Just couldn't get it done. Topped around sideways and then sold off. It was really kind of frustrating. So I was in a position, and this candle stopped me out, and I got right back in. It was above the daily trigger. The day was in force. It was an inside day, and I was pretty surprised that we didn't keep pushing higher. So came close to hitting DLL. I think maybe I had like $100 of drawdown before I hit DLL, maybe $80, something like that. So it wasn't a lot to work with this morning or today. We are just inside, 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 inside. From the 15 through the daily, inside bars. So might take, might be one of those nights where I just don't take any trades off the open. It's kind of been like that. I've gotten okay with it. I just check back later in the day, 10 o'clock Eastern. I go to bed early, and I'll wake up at 2 or 3 a.m. before London Open. See if there's anything there. But there's got to be there's got to be a setup for me, and really there's at least on the 60 or the 4 hour. That's what I've really started to focus on. Like if there's just a setup on a 15-minute chart or a 30-minute chart, there's got to be a higher time frame setup with some magnitude for me to really want to jump into it. So I haven't made a whole lot of money this week. I think I'm actually down or flat. I had a good day Sunday or Monday, Sunday night. I put $1,800, 600 in one account, 1,200 in another, and then it's been just kind of like blah. I think Monday or Tuesday, I guess I was down. Maybe it was Tuesday, right? I was down like 160 in both accounts, and then today I hit DLL. So kind of flat, but only takes one good trade, two good trades, like one solid trade a week where I can make two, three, $4,000, or two good trades is fine. Just gonna be more picky. Green Day, yeah, London opens 3 a.m. So like if tonight, if there's nothing, if I don't make my money in the first like hour and a half after Globex open, I usually don't check back. Sometimes I'll just sit here, but usually I'll like the next flip I care about is the 10 p.m. Eastern. So when we get a new 4 hour candle, and then we get another new 4 hour candle at 2 a.m. before London opens. So if there's nothing at like 10 a.m., 10 p.m., I've been going to bed early, and I'm not like an early go to bed kind of person. Usually I'm for the past few months. Well, I shouldn't say few months, but about 2 months ago, you would find me posting setups at 2 a.m., 3 a.m., 4 a.m., 5 a.m. I just would trade straight through the night or be at least watching charts. And now I just don't do that. I'll go to bed early, wake up 2 or 3 a.m. If there's nothing there, I just go right back to sleep. Wake up for New York or New York pre market. Why options DGen is always, he's called me grandpa the other day because I take naps, but you know, if I'm up trading at night and I only sleep for like 3 hours, then yeah, I need I need to get some sleep, man. It's funny, it makes me laugh, and it feels weird sometimes, to just kind of I don't know. I have this thing in my head there that I need to be grinding 24/7, or I'm just not putting in enough effort. And the truth is, like, you know, even the day that Monday, Sunday night, Monday, whatever. I mean, I kind of just chilled, but I'd put 1,800 into accounts. Like that was solid. I don't need to. It's weird getting adjusting to like starting to get some payouts and then realizing how much free time you can have in life if you can stick to some rules and make money consistently. Like, I could either sleep all day, I could just kind of wander around outside, I could do chores, I could do, there's just a lot of time, and I'm not used to that. I'm used to having to sit in front of a computer and write code or be working on something like a maniac. So it's hard to give myself permission to just kind of relax, chill out a bit and not feel guilty about it. I don't know if anybody else can relate to that. I know some of you probably working regular jobs, like shut the F up. I'm trying to trade in the bathroom, on my lunch break. Green Day says I feel like moving to Europe to take advantage of London. Yeah, it's I a lot of times I will listen to Deanna. She's on Top Step TV. She does London Open, but it's 4:30 a.m. Eastern. So I put her on and I don't know what it is, man, but like you give me a female with a British or Australian accent and I just fall right in love. So I put her on. I don't even pay attention to the chart. Like she's talks a lot about trading psychology and answers questions from people in YouTube chat. And so she's been trading for like 14, 15, 16 years. I don't know, whatever it is. So she's very knowledgeable. And I just put that on and then kind of doze off. But I'm jealous of their schedule. Where they get to their New York Open for them is I don't know, like noon or 1 o'clock, whatever it is. I think it's a 5 hour time difference, 5 hours ahead of Eastern. Yeah, 8 ball exactly. He says, "Hell yeah, I trade while I'm at work." I think I would not be able to get any work done as focused and as obsessed as I am about trading, like working at a regular job where I was supposed to be doing something. That would be really tricky for me. I guess you just get used to it, right? I mean, it's you have responsibilities, things you got to take care of. So if you can squeeze 15 minutes of trading in, trade, you're not on the 1 minute, I guess, or 2 minute. Maybe you're trading like some of the higher time frames. I don't know, but I imagine that's what I would do. See if there's like an hourly setup. Try and check in 5, 10 minutes before the flip, or take a quick little quote unquote smoke break, stretch your legs, or whatever. Fire up the charts, see if there's something you can get in. If not, just go back to whatever you were doing. Okay. Yeah, there's options, DJ. I'm being honest. Yeah, I don't get shit done during the workday. Yeah. Nate says for top TSX, how about a DOM in the middle with two ticker tabs and charts on either side? You might be able to do that. I think these charts are stuck together. Like this charting window is. I don't think you can. There's no way to move. Like you're either moving the whole. You know what I mean? The whole the like they're stuck together. Oh. Am I gonna? I think what I'm gonna do and what was suggested for streaming is um I'll probably just stream this to YouTube, like the chart with my account and P&L at the top, and get rid of all of this stuff. So that should supposedly how I wish I could just stream the whole thing, but I don't know that it's gonna. I've been told that and I've noticed now that I've looked at other streams, like when is streaming, it's just we got a it's like a smaller section. Same thing with Rips. He's got his the video of himself and then just the chart and his P&L like in a little box there. Not just streaming the whole TSX layout, but I'm gonna keep experimenting. A lot of this is not really important. It's I think what most people care about is the chart positions and P&L just to see what's going on. A lot of times I don't even pay attention to this. Depends. We got a 30-minute flip about 4 minutes ago. Just still inside. The previous 30-minute candle just barely broke the low. Still inside hour and inside 4 hour, which for me are like no touch zones. I just won't do it. I think I tried at one point yesterday or the day before. I thought I could get something inside a 4 hour inside bar, and it just didn't work. And I was like annoyed at myself because it's I want to take the easy trades. I want the trades that are just going to go and work, and be low stress, and that's not. It's definitely not inside 60, inside 4 hour. Sometimes you can get away with it with an inside 4 hour, but it's like so questionable that I prefer the four hour to have some direction, right? Either be a two up or two down, taking out the previous high or low, and it just makes it easier. It's like I am not winning on this CL position. Came close to stopping out. Let me pull up CL and see what's actually happening on this chart. Went outside 30.
Order filled.
Gonna add here. It doesn't add much risk. I'm gonna keep my stop exactly where it is, and it brings my average down. But that's I'm gonna kind of leave it here. Got a two down, a green two down forming on the 30. So that's why I was willing to do that. We take a look at that. So you can see here a three, two down green, three, two, potential two back up. A lot of work, for that to happen, but I don't add a whole lot of risk by doing that, and I end up with a better entry. So we'll see if that goes anywhere, or if that ends up being a mistake. We are kind of red on the week, but do have some. We've taken out like on the 4 hour here, like all of these guys stopped out. Anybody over here, over here, over here, over here. All of these stops got taken out here on this candle. So we'll see if that works. If not, no big deal. We we take our shots, and the rest is up to the market. Eight Ball says, "Yep, hourly or 115 minute." What's that work out to be? 2 hour? Is that a time frame that you trade? Like every 2 hour, you use a 2 hour chart, or every 2 hours you take a peek at the charts? I think you mentioned that. Was it you? Oh no, somebody mentioned a 460-minute time frame. I wrote it down here in a piece of paper. I haven't looked at it though. Yeah, I know. I think DSL or Taco Dan, one of those guys uses like will use a 90-minute chart. I think it gives you equal 5 or 6 equal candles. Yeah, I haven't explored that yet. It's still written down here in front of me. Options Degen agrees with my layout idea here to just show the chart with the P&L, get rid of the other fluff that just takes up space. Probably makes it harder to see on mobile too. So hopefully in the next day or two, or by Sunday, over the weekend, I'll mess around with it a bit, see if I can figure out a better setup. Nate said, when I use that platform, put the order ticket and P&L in the middle and ESNQ on the sides. The issue is the screens are a bit small to trade effectively. Yeah, I'm gonna figure it out. I mean, like for me, this layout works fine. It's you know, but I want the stream to look decent, and for everybody to see what I'm kind of pointing out. The problem that I have is if I just I'll have to create like two layouts, I think. So one that just has the chart with the P&L, and then a tab that shows, this four chart layout that I can zoom into because they're different sizes. And I have a stream deck at home in Florida that would make it super easy to flip back and forth where I could just press a button. I'm sure there's some kind of hotkey I can set up or a way I can do it in OBS, but it's just going to take me a minute to like figure out, but we'll get it done. See, all kind of struggling here. Not looking good. Stopped out. 69. Ha ha ha. NQ inside 15, inside 30, inside 60, inside 4 hour, inside 12 hour, inside day. Hopefully some of those close inside and then we get a chance to trade the inside bar break. I really, really thought last night, breaking this inside bar, we were going to get up to this weekly open over here. Like this red line. We were going to break and get up here. That's what I was banking on. That's what I was positioned for, and it just didn't happen. I feel like maybe if FOMC wasn't happening, potentially Hold on one second, guys. Alrighty. Yeah, I really thought we were going to get up to the weekly open, and it just didn't happen. But I put myself in a position where if we got up there, it would have been a nice trade, and that's all we can do is take those entries and hope that they work. Keep risk manageable. Like that's my job. See what metals are doing here. I gotta find the right gold contract. That's kind of annoying. Silver looks like a good long currently. We've got full time frame continuity to the upside. This hammerish candle, two down, green. But metals don't usually get jamming until either 7 or 8 o'clock. Let's see if we can. Yeah, usually 8 o'clock there's some volatility. Here's a good example right here. This is 8 o'clock Eastern. You get a nice push up. And then, of course, in the morning, COMEX open is 8:30 a.m. Eastern, and that's when you get some more volatility in there on metals. So might focus a little bit on metal or keep an eye on metals. Potentially Bitcoin, crypto had a really strong day. If we look here on my watch list, you can see, whoops, whoops, that's not what I want. Oh, R rectangle tool over here. Oh, fancy. See a lot of these like meme coins with JTO. Some other ones had sand as a meta name, metaverse. But Bitcoin, kind of had a solid reaction to FOMC. So it might be one of those nights where I kind of venture out from NQ and see what is happening elsewhere. Been a minute since I've done that. But I don't want to sit here and just, get chopped up trading NQ or maybe miss some other opportunities when NQ isn't moving. What's up, Tronex? Good to see you. You'll draw more attention if you teach your strategy a little bit each stream so we all know what you're actually talking about. Okay, that's a good idea. Maybe I can maybe I'll start streaming a little bit earlier and do like a 5 or 10 minute cover something related to the strat. There's some great playlists out there if you are curious. Sarah's got Stratification Principles. Alex has his Strat A to Z. That's where I got started. But that might be a good idea for anybody who's new who has no idea what I'm talking about when we're talking about like two up, two down, or some of the other strat concepts. It's a good suggestion. Tronex also says keep cycling through and teaching people for specific simple setups and how to find them and what entry and exits they should take. Keep it simple. They can take action. I am determined to teach my ex girlfriend, who I have a good relationship with, how to trade. And I've been thinking about how I would do that, right? I don't want to teach her the whole strat. She doesn't need to know everything about trading, but I can say, look at the daily time frame, look at the 12 hour, look at the 4 hour. if these candles set up in a certain way, right? If you've got inside bars, you want to trade the break. If you've got time, and in the direction of time frame continuity, I feel like I can give her a cheat sheet to narrow down the number of things that she has to pay attention to, and can kind of trade on the side. She has a regular. She's going to school, slash, working a regular job. But I feel like, I feel like even if she could make like a couple $100 a week, or I mean, she was like even $50 a day. Like if she just had to, spend an hour or 30 minutes looking at charts, or just had to look on the flip, the 4 hour flip. If there's something there, cool. If not, don't worry about it. Be a nice little side hustle. So I think what I'm gonna do is when I work with her, I'm gonna put together like some kind of game plan or roadmap, and then I'd share that with anybody who is watching the stream. We could discuss that in some detail, like what I would pay attention to as a new stratter to get to profitability as quickly as possible without having to know all of the ins and outs. So good suggestions, man. Appreciate it. Options DJN. Wonder if crypto rallied more because of the Bank of Canada doing QE this morning. I don't know. Also said I'm actually in the process of training my sister to trade. She'll be in here soon. Awesome. My ex-girlfriend's son, who is 18 now, I've told him that I want to show him how to teach him how to trade. So I might, get him and his mom on a Zoom or something and try and give them a crash course. I feel like I can save somebody a lot of time of like, just focus on these couple things to start. And then if you want to get fancy down the road, cool. But like maybe just focus on inside bar breaks or rev strats. Those are kind of my favorite setups, or two down green hammer, two up red shooter. Like limit it to that. It gives you enough setups to, get more opportunities without being overwhelmed. And I don't know. We'll see if it works. It's also, I think it's hard for some people to just sit and stare at charts, but you kind of don't have to if you just look on the flips and trade the higher time frames. You don't really have to sit here all day. It's actually probably better if you don't. Yeah, Tronic says, "Yep, for the stream purposes, simple, short, and actionable, so then people can do it on their own and they'll come back." Yeah, that would be great. I would love to put together like the strat crash course on just up trading these couple setups, and find, see people become profitable in a short, in a relatively short period of time. Now, strategy is only once you get a strategy down, then you find out that like the like 80% of trade. Yeah, at first when you start trading, at least for me, I don't know if you guys can relate to this. I was like, once I learn the strat, I'll be crushing it, right? You're like, it's 100. Trading is 100% figuring out a strategy. Then once you spend some time learning a strategy that you're comfortable with, it's like, oh shit, that's only like 20% of the game. It's like this 80% of it is really managing the emotions behind the trades, being having a confidence to execute, not being greedy, taking profits at targets, managing your risk, setting reasonable stops, being okay losing, knowing when to walk away. Like that's not strat stuff. That's mental stuff. That's the mental game of trading. And for me, that's the most difficult part. Oh, 8 ball got disconnected. You didn't miss a thing, man. We're just chilling. Watching NQ broke the 15-minute inside bar up, but we're not going anywhere. I'm talking about some psychology, how trading is all the mental game of trading is the difficult part. Leamsy says, yep, spot on because I'm going through that phase right now. I was eager learning about the strat, but find out there's more to it. 100%. You're like, oh, all I got to do is learn this combo sheet, time frame continuity, and some broadening formations. Easy peasy. I had code written to like do market scanning within the first couple weeks of bumping into Sarah and learning about the strat. I mean, I was completely obsessed with it, so I spent a ridiculous amount of time, working on that. But I was like, well, shit, I'm gonna be rich in like 2 months. This is crazy. And then, it's like, oh, wait, there's this whole other part of it that I need to figure out, and it's mostly like dealing with my own internal issues, like discipline and patience, and I was like, oh my god, who wants to mess with that? It's like I'm trying to make some money, man. I want to work on patience. I'm trying to get rich quick. Yeah, Nate, exactly. Nate said, and keeping what you make. Making money is part of it, right? And then you got to hold on to it. Like anybody could click a button, go long or short, and end up with a profitable day. It's being able to repeat that and not go from having $1,000 winning day or a winning streak, maybe $100 a day for a week, and then giving it all back, in 30 minutes on a bad trade because you didn't manage risk. Like that's the tricky part. Let's peek back at CL here. Not really doing a whole lot. We do have a two down hammer here. Is red, but my arch nemesis, the opening hourly outside bar. Which I mentioned we had on NQ last night. Didn't take any trades, and we stayed stuck for the most part in here. We kind of poked up a little bit, but 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, basically 5 hours of just not really moving. Even when we broke out here, we ended up going sideways for a bit. So when we open with an hourly outside bar, it's kind of depressing. I just don't like it. But we might get something on the 4 hour flip that would be interesting. Or the hourly flip. We get a new hourly flip in 4.5 minutes. Or 30 minute. Is that right? Yeah. New 30/60. 4.5 minutes. But we're gonna like open inside hour probably. Right? We're right in the middle of this inside bar candle. So we're gonna end up with inside bar, inside bar. Probably just set some alerts up near the high here and near the low. If one of those kind of pings me, then I'll kind of see what's happening, but give myself a little more heads up. Really need to make my next trade count, so I'm not going to rush into anything. Small red to start. Nothing I can't bounce back from, but I would like to end the week green. So hopefully we get some nice opportunities tomorrow, tonight, tomorrow. I really don't, I'm not a huge fan of trading Fridays, but we'll see. Every once in a while, Friday surprises me, ends up being like a really great trading day. Options degen. There's no silver bullet to trading. Takes years of practice. Yeah. Yep. I mean, anyone who asks me about it, like, I mean, everyone wants to know how to trade because they think you can just make money really easy. You just tap some buttons, click some buttons, this, that, the other thing. I'm like, do you think you could just pick up a guitar and kind of strum a little bit here and there and, start rocking out? No, it doesn't work that way. Like, if you want to get good at it, you got to put in time, you got to practice it, you know, repeat, trying to play the same chords over and over, the same song. You could spend, 2 weeks just practicing one song, one part of a song, so that you can play it half decently. It's the same kind of thing. DJ just needs $800 in one of his MFFUs for a payout. Nice. Flamesy, I use Bybit for crypto. But if you're in the US, you're gonna have a hard time. There used to be a workaround, but I read the other day that it's no longer works. You used to be able to get a Palau ID and KYC yourself, but I guess from what I understand, Bybit doesn't accept that anymore. I am hoping I'm just grandfathered in. I mean, I can still use the platform currently, but that ID was only good for a year, so there is a potential that sometime in the near future here, I won't be able to trade on there. Yeah, options DJ, and that was the other one, stabbing someone and calling yourself a surgeon. That's Deanna used that last night. She said, do you think you would be able to perform heart surgery on somebody after, just kind of studying for like 2 years? No, you got to do like a residency, you got to get a PhD, you got to go through the whole medical school, blah, blah, blah. It's like if you're, it's like 6, 8 years for most people, and unless you're really, really smart, top 5% or whatever, maybe you can squeeze it out in like 4 to 6. Here's the flip. So the 30-minute closer to breaking bull, but still inside 60 and inside 4 hours. So kind of don't really care about this a whole lot. I'd rather just wait. I don't want to get chopped up and then irritated at myself because I've said over and over, definitely don't trade inside 60, and like you better have a damn good reason to trade an inside 4 hour. Like the 4 hour is close to going two up or two down, or something bigger picture is going to happen if that. I don't not for it not to be stuck inside. Like it needs to be moving in a direction, not just 30 breaks, but we're still inside 60, inside 4 hour. Doesn't really get me anywhere. Inside 12 hour, inside day. And we are just like on the 4 hour here. We're like right in the middle of the 4 hour, so not close to taking out the high, not anywhere near the low. So even if this, you know, 60 triggers down, it's gonna be stuck inside. Now, yeah, there's a lot of range here. This could potentially, it's 118 points if this breaks and hits this target. But in the olden days, I might just I might just jump on top of that. But rather, I'd rather wait for London or check back, on the 4 hour flip for a setup that I really like where I'm like, damn, that looks nice. I hope that triggers. That'll give me that'll get the 4 hour going to XYZ. Got some magnitude there. We're gonna get a 30 to trigger a 60 to get the 4 hour inside bar break. Got to be a story. I feel like for me, like it's just got to make sense. Yeah, I don't know when the options agent said he was able to recently KYC on. Oh, on BitGet. I read that as Bybit. So you might have some success somewhere. Um, it's hopefully with Trump in office, whether you like, what he's up to or not. They are, they appear to be, I should say, much more crypto friendly. And so I'm hoping that the rules around trading futures in the US change. Like I would prefer to, trade on an exchange that I feel like is being responsible. They're not going to rug. Since DGen, I used the PID last year to get Bybit as well, but tried to open a second personal one with it last month and couldn't. Yeah, I don't know when it was. Somebody, I think in the crypto channel or whatever mentioned. I told somebody go here, get this ID, and they were like, yeah, it doesn't work anymore, and I was like, what? It was like the cheat code. I mean, I'm not looking to like, get out of paying taxes or avoid, some kind of whatever. I just want to, as a grown adult, be able to trade like the rest of the world can trade. And I'm not like up to shady business. I just want to, I want to be able to trade. Little leverage, be able to short. You can't like short on playing one direction. I don't know. It just seems not fun. All right, guys, it's been a hoot. I'm gonna hop off here. We're just stuck inside 3060 and nothing I'm interested in trading. Take a peek back at CL. That's not doing a whole lot either. Trying to hold up, but inside 3060, 4 hour needs to get back over this inside bar. Otherwise, we run the risk of going outside bar, just like we did here and here. Like on this, you can see we poked up a good bit right here, but this, we just took out the high of this inside candle and then failed. And this right here, we just took out the high of this inside candle and we're failing. So could end up with an outside bar. So not really interested in that. Gold, I got to find the right contract for. Silver, 4 hour, no longer in force. It doesn't look like. I was trying to get something going, but we'll see what happens. I'll check back like maybe at 8 o'clock on metals. But other than that, I'm going to hop off. So appreciate you guys being here. I will see you later. Have a good night.